12 muscle cars that will blow your mind. Muscle cars were never designed to be reasonable. They were designed to scare people. This list isn't about the famous ones everyone already knows. These are the machines that came from factories with race-level power, brutal torque, and attitudes that made them feel illegal even when they weren't. And wait till you see the final car. It's pure madness. 12. 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6. This wasn't the kind of muscle car you worked up to. It was the kind you respected immediately, because the 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6 was built like Chevrolet wanted to prove a point, not just sell a fast coupe. Under the hood sat the legendary 454 cubic inch LS6 big block V8, officially rated at 450 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. And unlike many factory numbers from the era, this one wasn't optimistic. It was brutal. The throttle response felt heavy, the power came in like a wave, and once it hooked, the car didn't accelerate, it lunged. In period testing, the LS6 Chevelle could hit 60 miles per hour in about 5.4 seconds, and with enough road, it pushed toward a top speed near 130 miles per hour. Terrifying numbers for a street car built in 1970. What made it dangerous wasn't just straight-line speed, it was the imbalance. You had monster torque, rear-wheel drive, and suspension hardware that simply wasn't designed for this level of force. At high throttle, the rear end could break loose instantly. Braking systems also struggled under repeated hard runs, meaning the car could go fast more easily than it could stop. And that's exactly why the government and insurance companies began circling cars like this. Emissions rules tightened, fuel economy pressure exploded, and horsepower wars became politically unacceptable. 11. 1969. Camaro ZL1. Chevrolet didn't build this Camaro to be cool, it built it to win, and the street version was almost an accident. The 1969 Camaro ZL1 looked like a regular first-gen coupe, but it carried an engine so extreme that most people didn't believe it was real until they heard it. Under the hood sat the legendary 427 cubic inch ZL1 all-aluminum V8, a motorsport-grade monster adapted for a production car. Officially, Chevrolet listed it at 430 horsepower, but the real number was widely believed to be much higher. Torque landed around 450 pounds-feet, and the delivery was savage. Fast revs, instant punch, and a surge that didn't feel like normal big block muscle. With traction on its side, the ZL1 could reach 60 miles per hour in about 5.3 seconds and run to roughly 150 miles per hour, depending on gearing. Then came the final twist, the price. It was so expensive that almost nobody ordered it. Only 69 were built, and even dealers struggled to move them. The ZL1 didn't disappear because it wasn't good. It disappeared because it was too much. A factory-built street car carrying race engine DNA with almost no apology. What made it truly dangerous was weight. The aluminum block cut mass compared to an iron big block, which changed the car's balance and made throttle inputs feel sharper and more unforgiving. Rear tires didn't gradually lose grip. They broke loose suddenly, especially when the road wasn't perfect. The suspension and brakes were strong for the era, but the ZL1's power was simply ahead of what street hardware could comfortably control. 10. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. Some muscle cars were fast. This one was a warning. The 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda didn't arrive to compete politely, it arrived to dominate, and it did it with the kind of factory power that made insurance companies, regulators, and even dealerships nervous. At the center of the madness was Chrysler's legendary 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, a street-legal version of an engine designed with racing in its blood. Output was rated at 425 horsepower, backed by around 490 pounds-feet of torque, delivered with brutal immediacy. The throttle didn't build power, It unleashed it. With the right launch, the Hemi Cuda could hit 60 miles per hour in about 5.6 seconds. For the early 1970s, those numbers were not normal. They were terrifying. What made the Cuda especially dangerous wasn't just the horsepower, it was how little help the driver had. No traction control, no stability systems, just rear-wheel drive, massive torque, and a chassis that demanded respect. The car could feel stable when cruising, but under hard throttle, the rear end could step out instantly. Even experienced drivers had to treat it like a loaded weapon. Then the world changed. Emissions rules tightened, fuel prices rose, and the muscle era started collapsing. Cars like the Hemi Cuda became impossible to justify on paper and too legendary to forget. Visually, it didn't need to scream. The wide stance, shaker hood, and aggressive proportions already said enough. Inside, the cabin was simple and functional because this car's personality wasn't about comfort, it was about intimidation through capability. Coming next is one of those factory builds that made insurance companies panic. 9. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. Air doesn't care about horsepower, it cares about shape. And in 1969, Dodge built a car that treated the wind like an enemy. The Charger Daytona wasn't designed to look cool. It was designed to win, and it did it so aggressively that racing officials panicked. Under the hood, buyers could get the legendary 426 Hemi V8, producing 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. In a straight line, the Daytona could launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 5.3 seconds. Terrifying speed for a full-size muscle car that looked like it belonged on a runway. The reason was pure aerodynamics. The massive rear wing wasn't for style, it stabilized the car at high speed. The long nose cone reduced drag and kept the front end planted. It was one of the first American cars that proved airflow could be just as powerful as engine size. But the Daytona created a problem. It was too effective. NASCAR quickly responded by changing the rules, restricting engines, and effectively killing off the wing car era. The Daytona became rare overnight, not because it failed, but because it embarrassed everyone else. Today, it's one of the most valuable muscle cars ever built. Not because it's pretty, because it's proof that once Detroit built a street-legal car that scared an entire sport into rewriting history. Drop a like if you respect old-school horsepower, and subscribe because the next lineup is even wilder. 8. 1969 Mustang Boss 429. Some cars were built to be driven. This one was built to be approved. The 1969 Mustang Boss 429 exists because racing demanded it, and Ford was willing to bend reality to make it happen. At the center of the story is the 429 cubic inch Boss V8, a monster designed for NASCAR homologation. Officially, it was rated at 375 horsepower, but that number was a polite lie. Real output was widely believed to be over 500 horsepower with the right tuning. Torque sat around 450 pounds-feet, delivered through a rear-wheel drive layout that made the car feel more like a weapon than a Mustang. 0 to 60 miles per hour came in roughly 6.8 seconds. Not because it lacked power, but because it struggled for traction. The engine was so large that Ford had to outsource the conversion work to Carcraft, where the Mustang's engine bay was modified just to make the big block fit. Suspension pieces were upgraded, the battery was relocated, and everything about the front end was reworked. The real reason it became legendary is what happened next. Insurance companies, emissions laws, and shifting regulations made cars like this impossible to justify. Today, it's not remembered as the fastest Mustang. It's remembered as the Mustang that Ford built only because the rule book forced their hand, and the result was something barely street legal. 7. 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. Not every muscle car needed wings or wild graphics to feel dangerous. The 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 proved you could look classy and still hit like a wrecking ball the moment the throttle dropped. Under the hood sat Buick's 455 cubic inch V8, and in Stage 1 form, it was tuned for one thing. Factory ratings listed 360 horsepower, but the real headline was the pull. 510 pound-feet of torque, delivered low in the rev range where it felt instant and brutal. 0 to 60 miles per hour came in around 5.5 seconds. What made the GSX feel different wasn't just speed, it was the way it moved. The car didn't scream or rev like a small block. It surged. One clean press of the pedal and the rear tires would struggle to stay civilized, even with factory rubber. That's why drivers who underestimated it usually learned the lesson the hard way. Visually, the GSX looked like a luxury coupe wearing muscle car armor. Bold stripes, hood scoops, and the aggressive stance gave it presence, but it still carried that Buick elegance underneath. And then the era turned. Emissions, insurance pressure, and tightening rules came down hard on torque-heavy big block cars like this. The GSX Stage 1 didn't disappear because it wasn't great. It disappeared because it was too honest about what muscle cars really were. That's what makes it legendary today. A luxury bruiser that hit harder than most cars brave enough to challenge it. Up next is a muscle car that was built like a secret weapon, and it still feels dangerous today. 6. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner 440. Picture a muscle car that doesn't care about style points. It only cares about who gets left behind. That's exactly what the 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner 440 was built for. This wasn't a fancy, high-end performance model. It was Plymouth's straight-up street brawler. Simple, aggressive, and brutally effective. The body looked clean and almost plain compared to flashier rivals. But the moment it moved, everything changed. Under the hood sat the legendary 440 cubic inch Super Commando V8, factory rated at around 375 horsepower and roughly 480 pound-feet of torque. And that torque wasn't something you felt later. It hit instantly, the kind of low-end shove that made the Roadrunner jump forward like it was being yanked by a chain. With the right gearing and traction, the 440 Roadrunner could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in the low 5-second range. And that's what made it such a legend. It didn't need luxury. It didn't need a fancy badge. It didn't need to be rare. It was built to do one thing better than almost anything else in 1970. Deliver big block speed on demand. Because when a Roadrunner pulled up next to you, it wasn't trying to look cool. It was waiting for the light to turn green. 5. 1970 Pontiac GTO. Judge Ram Air 4. Rules didn't kill the muscle era overnight. They squeezed it, one legendary engine at a time. And the 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge with the Ram Air 4 package was exactly the kind of car that made regulators and insurers nervous. This wasn't the typical weekend cruiser GTO. Under the hood sat Pontiac's 400 cubic inch Ram Air 4 V8, rated at 370 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. Those factory numbers were conservative because the real story was in the hardware. High-flow round port heads, aggressive camshaft, and a top-end design to breathe hard at high RPM. In the real world, this Judge could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5.4 seconds, with quarter-mile times landing in the low 13 seconds. Visually, it screamed for attention. The Judge stripes, rear spoiler, and wild colors were Pontiac's way of daring the world to look away. But as insurance rates exploded and emissions regulations tightened, cars like this became political targets. The Ram Air 4 Judge didn't disappear because it was weak. It disappeared because it was too perfect at what muscle cars were never supposed to be: fast, loud, and impossible to ignore. What made it feel dangerous wasn't just speed, it was the attitude. Power came in with a hard, rising pull that encouraged you to stay in it longer than you should. Rear-wheel drive traction was always a question, and the car demanded a driver who understood throttle control, not just bravery. Quick one: if you want more rare muscle history like this, hit like so, I know to make more. 4. 1971 Dodge Challenger RT 446 pack. Nothing about the 1971 Dodge Challenger RT with the 446 package was subtle. It wasn't built to blend in, and it definitely wasn't built to be reasonable. This was Mopar at full volume, right before the world started turning the volume down. Under the hood sat Chrysler's legendary 440 cubic inch V8, topped with the famous six-pack setup. 3 two-barrel carburetors feeding a motor rated at 390 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. The power delivery was brutal in the most old-school way possible. It didn't build gently, it hit hard, and it kept pulling like it was angry at the road. In period testing, a properly hooked up six-pack Challenger could run 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5.5 seconds. But the danger wasn't only speed, it was how the car behaved while making it. Steering was heavy, the rear end could step out without warning, and traction was never guaranteed. This was the era before modern stability systems. If you got greedy with the throttle, the car didn't correct you, it punished you. Visually, the 1971 Challenger was wide, aggressive, and built like a street fighter. And that's exactly why the six-pack era didn't last. Rising insurance costs, emissions laws, and fuel concerns squeezed cars like this out of existence. And the next entry, it wasn't made for comfort, it was made to dominate. 3. 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30. The 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30 was the kind of muscle car that didn't act desperate for attention, and that made it even more intimidating. It looked clean, confident, and almost upscale, like something built for a successful adult, until you heard what was hiding under that hood. Power came from Oldsmobile's legendary 455 cubic inch V8, officially rated at 370 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers were already monstrous, but the W30 package was famous for being underrated. What you felt wasn't just horsepower, it was instant torque, the kind that hit hard enough to twist the car sideways if you weren't ready. In strong period testing, a properly set up W30 could run 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5.8 seconds. That was brutal performance for a full-size street car with real weight, real comfort, and real presence. The W30 package wasn't just engine hype either. It added a functional fiberglass hood with forced air induction, upgraded cam tuning, improved cooling, and suspension changes that helped the 442 stay composed when the power came in. It still demanded respect, especially under braking, but it was far more controlled than most torque monsters of the era. 2. 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator 428S CJ. The 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator didn't look like a pure muscle car at first. It looked like a sleek, well-dressed predator. Long hood,